Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, the Brandy Janae channel. Here we talk about locks, beauty, travel, health, fitness, basically whatever it is that we want to talk about, we can talk about it right here, okay? So today we are actually going to be talking about locks. We're going to be talking about what to consider when picking out a loctician and the importance of a consultation, okay? Going to consultations are very, very important, okay? I did write down some talking points. That way I can try to stay on track and I don't just kind of float off in different directions, okay? One of the great benefits about going to a consultation is that number one, you get a chance to meet the loctician. You get a chance to meet the person who could potentially be going on this journey with you. You get to fill out their energy. You get to see a little bit about their personality. You get to see if y'all vibe or not. That's very important because this could potentially be the person that you're going to be spending a whole lot of time with and trusting. You're going to be trusting that this person has your best interest at heart. So it is so important to go to these consultations. I would say try at least two different consultations. That's personally what I would recommend. At least two consultations. I know that there's a consultation fee a lot of the times, but in the end, it is well worth it because it could end up saving you a whole lot of money in the long run, because picking the wrong loctician can end up costing you thousands and thousands of dollars. So I would rather pay that $25, $30, $40 per consultation. A lot of them will roll that consultation into your actual establishment price, but it is well worth it in the long run. Go to those consultations, meet those locticians. It's very important. You want to know who you're going to be spending time with, and you want to know what kind of energy is going to be transferring into your hair. Okay, so that's number one. Go to these consultations so that you can meet in person, especially if you're looking for a permanent loctician. Go to your consultation. Okay. Number two, when you go to these consultations, you should be finding out, especially if it's your first time. If this is your first time and you're starting your lock journey, you should be getting all of your questions answered. You should be able to ask questions about the process, what's to be expected, what products am I going to be expected to use on my hair, what products should I not be using on my hair. You should be asking questions. They should be telling you, they should be informing you about how to take care of your hair, how to wash your hair, how often to wash your hair, what products to use on your hair, what products that are you not able to use on your hair, how to take care of your hair when you get ready to go to bed at night. All of your questions should be answered at this consultation. Financial questions should be answered. How much am I going to be expected to pay for my establishment? How much am I going to be expected to pay for my retightenings? Any and everything that you are wanting to know, a good loctician is going to be able to provide answers for all of your questions. You want to go into the process prepared and knowing and realistically knowing what's to be expected, because the way that your hair looks on day one is not the way your hair is going to look at a year from now. So having that open dialogue during the consultation is very, very important. That way you know what to expect. And then you may decide that this is something that you're ready for, or you may decide that this is something that you might need to wait on. This is something that you may need to save up for. This may be something that you need to mentally prepare for. But that's why it's so important to go to those consultations, okay? So that you can have an open dialogue, so that you can make sure that your loctician is good for you, and then your loctician can make sure that you are good for them also. It's a two-way street, okay? Number 3, location and environment is very, very important. When choosing a loctician, you want to be able to see where you are going to be going for your retightenings. You are going to be going back to your loctician every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks. It just depends on, on what your loctician has, suggested for your hair. So you want to make sure that location works for you. You want to make sure that you're comfortable with going to whatever environment or wherever, your loctician is located. You want to be comfortable when you're going to get your hair done. Some people prefer going to a salon. Some people prefer going to an actual, like freestanding building salon. Some people prefer, different things. I have a home salon. Somebody may not be cool with having a home salon. They may want to actually go to an actual building. But then you might be somebody who's okay with going to somebody's place and just, getting it done and you're on your way. Everybody has a preference. So it's very important to go so that you can make sure that the location is good. You can make sure that the environment is good. Just real quick, one thing that I ran into while I was on my journey, about a year into my journey, I ended up moving to a different state. Scary, because I had to pick a new loctician. I didn't know anything about this area. I didn't know who was who, and I didn't know what was what. Okay, and I did a couple of consultations. One consultation that I went to, she advertised that she was in a salon. When I got there, she wasn't in a salon at all. She was not in a salon. And not only was she not in a salon, but where she did hair, there was a smoker. That's important. No, when I get done getting my hair done, I don't want to leave smelling like smoke, So it's important to know what the environment is like that you're getting your hair done. That also reminds me, when I was relaxed many years ago, I had a loctician that started out in her shop, but then next thing you know, she moved literally every month. Every month she would be in a different spot. And one of the spots that she moved to was actually in the back of a barbershop. So in order to go to her area, we would have to walk through the barbershop, past all the men, go back there, and then she would start on her hair. Me personally, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So environment is very, very important. This same hairstylist, she moved again. And then this time when she moved, you wouldn't want to be there in that part of town after dark. So again, location is very, very important. When you're going to get your retightenings done, it's your time. That's your time to relax. That's your time to be pampered. So you want to go where you feel comfortable. Okay? So all of that, you're able to find out by going to the consultation, right? All that is important. Gas mileage. How far are you going to be driving? You find that out when you have to go to that consultation. Okay? So those are just some things to think about when picking a loctician. And those are just some things to think about as far as why you want to go ahead and spend, $40 for a consultation and then another 40 for another consultation, because you want to be able to just make sure that you're comfortable with whatever you're deciding to do. Okay. And what made me decide to talk about this was that this was an actual question that came up in one of the groups that I saw on Facebook. One of the ladies wanted to know, well, why do we have to pay for a consultation? Why do we have to go to a consultation? Well, it actually works in your favor. It works in your favor. You may decide you don't want to go with that loctician, and you don't want to find out that you don't want to go with that loctician until after she's already done your hair, and then, you got to make some changes. You're stressing out about what to do next. Not to say that later on down the line, you may not have to change, and find another location. Let me tell you, like I said, when I moved from Texas and ended up moving to Florida, that was one of the scariest things that I ever had to do, because I had to find a new loctician. And I got some stories